For me, in my job, community is about bringing a group of people together who all have their own ideas and interests of what they're trying to produce. It's about producing something, and giving them a construct which open source licensing and open source principles have given us for people to share information, work together to achieve their individual goals, and do it in a way that allows one person's efforts to be multiplied and magnified by other interested people. You know, the longer that I spend time working in and participating in and observing open source communities, the more and more I dislike the word community, actually, because I see its meaning becoming watered down so much, right? For some companies or organizations, community simply means you know, the person who posts stuff on Twitter and does viral marketing, and viral marketing could be a part of community. For open source projects, community is about finding leverage and being able to force multiply people's effort. I like to think about the metaphor of a Venn diagram. And you think about a Venn diagram because each circle of a Venn diagram represents an individual person or group's set of interests, right? But there's going to be natural overlaps, and some of those overlaps will be across 4 or 5 different groups, and others will just be across 1 or 2. But if you can identify those overlaps in those Venn diagrams, those are the places, I think, where you look to start. What are the 3 or 4 areas that multiple constituencies of this community care about simultaneously, and how can you drive those forward? The biggest place where I feel like these things fail before they even get started is when there's no clear idea of what you even think a community could begin to achieve. Now, what you think the community could achieve and what it actually achieves will likely end up being different. The hardest part about building a good community in an open source way is letting go of control. Something can go in a completely different direction than you intended, but that result and the result that you were initially looking for can somehow still both progress at the same time. One of the things that I think can mitigate against that is forcing yourself to have a clear roadmap of what you're trying to achieve, making sure that roadmap is public, and making sure that modifications to that roadmap or additions to that roadmap have a way to get integrated. Having opportunities to bring the core contributors together and having an opportunity for them to have FaceTime, to have a meal together, to speak to each other, to form some personal connections is so critical. The reward, I think, that a lot of people get by participating in a community is they get influence. I think an open source project has to have built into it an idea of natural turnover of leadership. That's one of the mistakes you see a lot, which is new people show up with enthusiasm and there's nowhere for them to go. I think community is about enabling people to further their own interests while contributing those interests back to a common good that everyone kind of supports a common core.